we didn't publicize this that much, and it's 9:03, but we have a group and we have our speaker with us, right, Lily? Wait, where did
I
Lily
hope
go?
so. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. She's missing on my screen, but I hopefully she's here.
I see her.
Okay,
She's on
good.
my
Okay.
screen.
Okay, that's all right. All right. So, and I wanted to thank Alan too, because Alan has been helping me with these pods. And I also wanted to say that this is like the first inaugural meeting of also the Long Island Northern Westchester pod. And we have Nancy and Teresa who are here representing. And I think in the future we may be combining our forces and presenting the pods together, which is good.
Great.
And welcome. We're appreciative of the opportunity. And I just wanted to thank Alan because Alan is like the person to go to. He has all of these, he's come up with every idea topic, right? Pretty much. He's helped me so much with the pod
It's
this
only
year.
been about three, Melissa, so I don't, let's
I
not
don't
get
know. It seems
crazy.
like six. It seems like so much.
I got about five more in my
I
mind.
know.
I'll have to.
Yeah, so we are always generating some new ideas, and the last one was about Social Security, and we invited Lily to come and join us and to speak to that. Lily, you're there, even though I don't see you.
Okay. All right. Just
Okay,
let me know when you want me to jump in.
jump in now, and I'll try
Okay.
to find you on my screen.
All
Okay.
right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So we have like a 3.5 hour presentation. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, goody.
I'm kidding.
I'm out.
I, I, I cut this a little bit down because I wanted just to have sort of an overview and just kind of a back and forth with the people. I am not a Social Security expert. I put this together. Alan was very convincing that this would be appropriate. So I actually found out a few facts that I did not know before. So I think this will be helpful. I also have a handout afterwards, so you don't have to necessarily take notes because it's a recap of all the key points. But it's, it's interactive. If you have a question along the way and I can possibly answer, great. If anybody else can, terrific. So let's get started. The reason I wanted to really point out why this is important is for a few matters. It is in the background of every one of our cases with gray divorce, especially, and it definitely impacts the future financial well-being of our clients, whether or not we have any control over Social Security and the benefits and the income. We have to be aware to at least advise clients as to pros and cons of what they may or may not know about claiming strategy. So that's really why we're kind of jumping into this. So I'm going to start with the basics and then kind of progress from there. So Social Security is often called the largest lifetime asset in a long-term marriage. But from our perspective, it's not divisible property. It's not subject to equitable distribution. It cannot be assigned. It cannot be transferred. And interestingly, it does not reduce the worker's own benefit when an ex-spouse applies to claim on their benefit record. But it does profoundly affect long-term financial security, alimony negotiations, possibly, retirement planning, survivor protection, which is something that I learned about, and post-divorce income projections for us financial planners. Divorce professionals who really understand the rules and the exceptions and some of the timing traps can help our clients negotiate much more effectively and I think more productively because it may provide that added layer of confidence in what we are discussing as a longer term projection or view of their financial security. And we're going to help them avoid some costly mistakes. So let me go through the basics. Retirement benefits on your own work record. Each spouse's own benefit is independent and it continues unchanged after divorce, meaning that each spouse will always have their own retirement benefits, no matter what. Now, two parts to this: married couples, divorced couples, and dead couples. Let me get to that. All right. So, spousal benefits while married. Here are the eligibility rules for marital spousal benefits. You have to be married for at least 1 year. Keep that in mind because I'll come back to that in a second. Your spouse must already be receiving Social Security benefits or disability benefits in order for you to claim on their record. One has to be at least 62 years old unless they're caring for a qualifying child, meaning a dependent child or a disabled adult. Maximum benefit is up to 50% of the primary insurance amount, called the PIA, of the spouse at full retirement age. If one spouse's own benefit is low, they might receive what's called an additional spousal top-up, which is the difference between their own record and up to 50% of their married spouse record. They will get the higher of. Claiming early does reduce their percentage of their own benefit. Benefits stop as a spousal benefit. They will stop at divorce. Okay? So that's kind of it for the married couples. There used to be such a thing as a deeming and filing strategy, which I'll come to in a minute, which is no longer viable. So those are kind of the rules for married spouses. Divorced spousal benefits. And tell me if I'm going too fast or if it doesn't make sense, or everybody okay? Okay. Carmen, are you all right? I can't hear you.
I'm so sorry. Can we just take a beat? All right. So
Yeah.
on the am I the only one? Because if I am, like, oh my God.
No. Tell me what's the
Okay.
question?
So you've got to be 62, married for the year, and they already have to be collecting. So
One
does
of them.
does the 1 year start from the period they start collecting, or does the 1 year start like
Marriage.
whenever?
One from the marriage date.
From the
And
marriage date?
and the reason that's important is because if you're a divorced spouse and you're collecting on your ex and then you remarry, you have to wait that whole first year in order to reapply on your new spouse's record. So you lose that income for that first year.
Oh.
And I've actually had a couple of cases like that, which they didn't even realize.
So you can't continue collecting from your old
Not
spouse.
when you remarry. It's going to be the higher of ex-spouse or current. I'll come to this. This is why it's important.
So when my husband predeceased, I was 59 years old, and nobody told me that I could collect on his
Wow.
Social Security. So
Survivor
I
benefit.
lost a year of collecting on his Social Security, even though I was working. But if you're under 62 and your spouse predeceases, you can, and he was collecting Social Security, you still can collect on, and you know, I had very good accountants and nobody realized that.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. So there's three buckets I wanted to talk about: being married, being divorced, and then being a survivor. So I'll get to the
Okay.
survivor part, but that's exactly what most people don't know, and that's what I learned actually more about was this part of it. So let's go to the second bucket. Oh,
Okay.
Teresa,
Wait, can I just, I want to say one thing. So my husband was collecting before me, and when I turned my full retirement age, I called up Social Security and I said, could I have been collecting before? Because someone told me that I could, and they said, did that someone work for Social Security? So it's easy to call them and get information if you call at like 8 o'clock in the morning, just if you have any questions.
and keep calling to get the same answer, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Let me just say that because
Oh, really? Oh, no.
I'm telling you right now, I've called a million times about Social Security on different issues, and it
Oh,
depends who you
no.
get on the phone. Yeah. So
Great.
anyway,
Okay.
So
yeah,
what was
heads
the
up.
answer
I'm
to-
sure where you're going to go next is going to clarify this. But so what you're saying is if you're married
Yes,
and your spouse is collecting, you need to be married for a year before you can collect on their record. Am I right?
correct.
Okay.
Perfect. You
Because
got
I
it.
was thinking 10 years, but I think you're getting to that.
No. So, okay, let's go to the second bucket. Now we're divorced. Okay.
Before
Whoops.
Lily,
Yes.
Carmen, did that answer your question? Did you have another question?
So I was wondering, Teresa, in your case, so does that mean that you could have started collecting on your
No.
No.
Well, that's what they said. They said no. So I could only start when I reached full retirement age.
Those rules changed, actually. Those were old rules.
Yeah, so let me come to the old rules,
Oh
but
my
you're down here
gosh.
too.
Call again, Teresa.
Lily, I have a
You're
question.
leading me down the little path here with all my crumbs here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're in the second bucket, being divorced. Okay. So being divorced, there's a couple of eligibility criteria for how to claim on an ex-spouse's record. And I think we're probably all familiar with this. So your own benefit, your own retirement benefits remain unchanged. So keep that in mind. And any spousal top-ups that you were collecting when you were married, stop. All those spousal benefits stop. So to claim as being a divorced spouse, you have to have been married for 10 consecutive years. So if you divorce after 3 and then you remarry for another 7, it doesn't count. The clock resets on every marriage date. Same person, I mean. The claimant has to be at least 62. The claimant has to be unmarried at the time of application. And if the ex has not filed yet, if they are not yet collecting Social Security, you have to have been divorced 2 years before you make the application, or until the application goes into force on their own record. Okay? And you will only collect on your divorced spouse's record if their benefit at 50% is higher than 100% of your own. Okay, so it's always the higher of,
Even if you're not collecting.
even if you're not collecting. And by the way, let me just say this. Divorced spousal benefits are based on your ex's primary insurance amount, not what they're collecting, but what it is. And you can only maximize your benefit on their record up to their full retirement age. So we were talking about delaying filing, right? Doesn't work as a divorced spouse. It goes up to their full retirement age, whether it's 67 or 66 or whatever it is. And that is the maximum you will ever get.
But that spouse has to reach the age of 62. If they're not 62 yet, then
Correct.
you,
If they're
even
not
if you're
62,
older
you can't
than your
make an
spouse, you
application.
can't collect.
They don't have to be collecting, but they do have to be at least 62. So if your ex delays collecting until age 70, there's no benefit to you.
But
Okay.
just to follow up on what Alan asked, so if I'm older than my spouse and I have to wait until
Yep.
my spouse collects,
Yep. But hold on.
but if I'm older, I can collect at 62.
You
Now,
can
when
collect
my
on your own.
spouse collects at 70, can I get the stepped up amount of my spouse's?
So are you married? You're
No, we're
married, right?
divorced.
You're divorced. So the answer is you don't get any step up. You can only collect up to 50% of the ex-spouse's maximum benefit at full retirement age. If he collects at 70, you don't benefit from anything past his full retirement age. And yes, as a divorced spouse, you can start collecting on your own record and then switch to your divorced ex-spouse's record when that person turns 62, if you are older and you have that time gap. And I actually had a client who did that.
So
Thank you.
full retirement age is 62, not 70?
No, full retirement age is based on your birth date. So you can start collecting Social Security as early as 62
Okay.
and as late as, I think it's now what, 72? Might even be 70.
70.
70.
70.
But Carmen.
Yeah,
if you
it's 70, Lily.
get a
Lily,
reduced
talk,
benefit.
Oh, that's for
You're probably-
IRAs. You're right. I'm sorry.
you're
Yeah.
probably going to talk about this later on, but I find, because I waited till 70, and OMG, it's such a benefit. It's like, is it 8% a year? So
Yes.
if you wait for 4 years, it's 32%.
Yes.
It's a huge amount of money.
It is. And that's why a lot of people will say delay it for as long as you can. But, on the other side of it, we were just talking about this a little bit earlier. Who knows when Social Security will be there? Maybe people need it now to enjoy life. You know, there's always pros and cons to everything, right? And the reason people usually say to delay it is because at some point in that trajectory, there's a crossover point of where you have maximized a benefit by how much you get and how long you live, right? Alan,
So
But that
Lily-
crossover point is at 70.
well, we're talking about the longevity of the benefits. So if
Well,
you
I don't know when I'm
wait
going
for
to
70,
die, but
so if you wait till 70 and God forbid you die at 71, was it worth
Oh.
waiting, right?
Right. That's the
Alan.
point.
Alan, what were you going to say?
Well, just to Kathleen's point, you can do a calculation how long you have to live if you wait till 70 versus taking it at full retirement age. But it becomes a complicated formula if you have to if you're saving all that money from 67 to 70, you have to put some kind of factor in for investment experience. But it's usually around 82, which is the point of break even. But I'm still a little confused. So if
Yeah.
you want to, if you're a younger spouse and you want to collect against your spouse's benefit, are you saying you have to wait until they're 70 to, if they don't elect till 70, then you can't elect against their half. You only get what you're entitled to on your record, or do you look at the age? If your spouse turns 62 and you're 62 and they don't elect at 62, can't you still elect at 62
Yes.
and receive that benefit? You can.
Yes,
Right.
you can apply on an ex-spouse's benefit record, whether or not they are collecting Social Security and their age of 62.
Got it.
Okay?
Lily, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Okay, but the spouse has to apply and suspend. So they're saying that they're going to take Social Security for their spouse to get a benefit, but they're suspending their benefits till maybe age 70.
That's if you're married, but you can't do that any longer. You can't do the file and suspend claim strategy any longer.
Yeah.
They discontinued that. You either elect your own benefit or you elect your spouse's, and it's at this, and you can't.
Right, but if you elect your spouse's benefit and they're not taking it because they're waiting till age 70,
Right.
I
But
think
you're
they have
collecting
to,
on their record, and the
yes, you're
spouse is
collecting on their
waiting,
record.
and the spouse is waiting. You can do that. Is that what you're asking or saying?
But then you can't collect on your own.
You're not going to collect on your own. If your own is a lot
Right.
less, you're going to collect on your spouse's. But if your
Right.
spouse is delaying till age 70 and you want to take it at when, at their full retirement age, I think they have to file and suspend so that they're not taking their benefit, but you get half of theirs.
I thought it was independent of one another now when you're married, but maybe I'm wrong.
So did I. But the difference you're saying married versus unmarried is in the married case.
So we had a married bucket. Married bucket's a little bit more complicated because you're together in the sense of what, thank you for looking it up. So divorce is a little bit cleaner in the sense that as long as your ex-spouse attains the age of 62, you have the option of applying on their Social Security benefit record if you meet all the other eligibility criteria. Now, here's the third bucket, which are the survivor benefits. Survivor benefits, divorced survivor benefits do include delayed credits. So for example, Kathleen, your spouse was 70, they delayed their Social Security benefits until age 70 to accrue as much as possible. Let's assume deceased. You would get 100% of that deceased ex-spouse's benefit. And that's why I just learned this. Survivor benefits are so much more generous than spousal benefits and than anything else. So if you're married and your current spouse dies, you are allowed to keep up to 100% of their benefit, including delayed benefits. So if they waited till age 70, you would be getting 100% of that benefit from age 70. If your own benefit stops And your own benefit would stop if the survivor benefit is greater. So it's always the greater of that you collect on.
But what if
Yeah,
the
Nancy.
if the survivor spouse died at 66, not 70? Then it's
So
just up to age 66?
I'm guessing it's as of the date that they would have been entitled to receive Social Security.
Well,
Nancy, what did
that's
you
kind of
think?
what happened to me.
Yeah.
I was 59. My spouse was 74, and he had been collecting Social Security since 62. I didn't realize that I could collect on his because I always knew, because I was still working, that I wanted to wait as long as I could to collect Social Security on my own income. But I could have collected on his.
Hmm.
And nobody told me that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a couple of $1,000s, but
Hmm.
it's
That's
very
fascinating.
complicated.
That's fascinating. So you can collect on your own, on your spouse's without electing yours. So you can still get the void
Exactly.
benefit on
So
yours, but
I
because he had
knew
already
my
elected. So
I
you
knew
were,
my spouse was collecting,
This is the
but
survivor
I never
benefit.
wanted to accelerate my collection because I wanted to wait as long as I could to get the most money I could. And then I actually hired Barbara Bell as an accountant, and she said to me, "Don't you
Oh
know
no.
you should be collecting on Social Security?" And I'm like, "WTF?" And I had waived like a year of collecting, but then I applied for it and I got it. So that was like 10 years of Social Security that I received, that if I didn't have a good accountant or a good advisor,
Wow.
I would not have received.
Wow.
what a
Nancy.
system we
So,
have.
Lily, you're correct. Filing and
that's good.
suspending is no longer there. So I checked
Right.
on that. Also, when a spouse dies, you don't get retroactive if you delay contacting Social Security. So it's really important that, you do that right away.
So what if
Okay.
you're divorced
Thank
and
you,
your spouse
Nancy.
dies?
Okay, so let me go there. That's my next thing. Thank you, Maria. That was
Okay.
perfect. That was lovely. Holding the little flags. Come down this way. Okay. So if your divorced ex-spouse dies, right? Divorced spousal benefits convert to divorced survivor benefits automatically. And these are the most valuable benefits, survivor benefits, because they are up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit, including delayed credits. Again, as a divorced person, you have to meet the eligibility requirements of a marriage lasting 10 years. And if you're unmarried or remarried after the age of 62. Your ex's remarriage, if they died and they had remarried, does not affect your survivor benefit.
Wow. Wow.
That's why
Isn't
it's
that
going bankrupt.
exactly my point?
Well, if they tax
Ah.
billionaires, it wouldn't go bankrupt. So sorry.
I think we have a little politics coming in. This is good.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
didn't say that.
Wait, can I just
Okay.
repeat that back to you, Lily?
Yes.
So you said
Yes.
you have to be eligible, married 10 years, and then
Yeah.
after 60, like I have a client who's 65, got divorced, 21-year marriage. So she is now unmarried. She could
Okay.
remarry and still retain the Social Security payments from her
She has
current
to be
ex.
she has to be unmarried at the time of application. She can
But then
remarry the
if
next day if she wants
Oh,
to.
and she'll still get
okay.
those benefits for the rest of her life. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
The higher of, right? Her own or 50% of the ex.
So
Okay.
it's not elected. It automatically takes the highest one for you now, because I thought it was
Well,
a
you have
choice,
to
which
apply on your
Have to
divorced
apply.
ex-spouse's record.
so you have to
You
know
have to
that
make
part.
the application,
Yep.
but the Social Security will determine the higher up, right?
For you.
They'll do the
Okay, that's
calculation.
good.
Does
Okay.
it matter what the age is of the deceased ex-spouse?
Or the survivor.
Or this, yeah. Well, the survivor has to be 62.
Right. And the divorced, I guess, to start the application, they would have had to been at least 62. Am I correct on that, Nancy?
So you're saying that they're divorced already, Carmen?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
yeah, they're divorced, but let's just say the ex-spouse died at 59. You have to wait till their age of 62, which would have been their age of 62, to make an application on as a divorced spouse.
But that's only if you're divorced. If you're
Divorced.
still married, you can collect.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, correct. I mean, remember we have the three buckets here. We have the
Right.
married, we have the divorce, and then we have survivor.
So if you're divorced, I like Maria's style. Like, okay, so let's recap. So if they're divorced, but he's not 62 yet, and he's deceased, you have to wait until he would have turned 62, then apply.
Yes.
Got it. And then you get the higher of whichever.
Well, actually, you're going to get survivor benefits, but you still,
Oh,
I
right.
believe, have to wait till the ex would have turned 62.
And you also have to be 62.
I'm pretty sure, yes.
But you're going to get a reduced benefit at 62.
You're going to get a reduced benefit at 62. Correct.
Based on, so I won't get his full survivor benefit because I'm not 62 yet?
So I'm not sure about
So
that.
at 62, you always get a reduced benefit.
Right.
You have to wait
Okay.
till they're
But
at
it's
full
on the
retirement age
survivor.
to get the full.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
survivor, right?
But it's
100%.
the
We're talking about
survivor.
survivor. Yeah, so survivor. So let me just think about that. I don't know if you have to be 62 to claim a divorced survivor benefit.
Google
I have
it.
to look on that. I have to look on that one.
AI it.
Yeah, I don't know.
AI it.
But here's like what I think we're all talking about, which is how do you switch between all these benefits, right? So you can switch between taking your own benefit when you're divorced. I mean, taking your own benefit when I guess you're married, to taking a divorced benefit, to then taking a survivor benefit. And the survivor benefit, you could be a survivor in a marriage or a survivor being divorced, right?
Okay, so
Okay.
I got the answer.
Okay, great.
Because you were, let's say I wrote, if you are 62 and your ex-spouse dies when can you collect if they're 59? Okay. Because you are 62, you can begin collecting surviving divorced spouse benefits right now. The deceased ex-spouse's age is not a limiting factor.
Yeah.
Payments are instead determined by your age and their lifetime earnings record.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
So yeah, you still have to be 62 though to make the application.
No.
That said you did.
No,
Oh, you
if-
just said they were 62, so we don't.
If the survivor ex-spouse is 62 and the deceased ex-spouse is
Younger.
younger, you can collect on their record.
What if they're both 59?
Yeah, that was my next question.
You want me to do that too?
Wait till-
I can do that
What if
too.
they're
Yeah.
both 59? Do they have to wait for the ex-spouse would have been 62?
Well, what?
Okay, you can begin collecting a surviving divorced spouse's benefit at age 60 or as early as age 50 if you're disabled. The
Okay,
age of
good.
your ex-spouse at the time of death does not impact your eligibility. However, collecting before your full retirement age will permanently reduce your benefit amount. So that's if they're both 59, they can
Okay.
collect.
Okay, so age 60.
So just for the
Okay.
record, so I hate this phrase full retirement age because it seems like a moving target.
It is.
It is.
It's on
It
your
is
birthday.
based upon your birth date.
It's yeah. It's
But
based
there's-
on
So
your
it's
birthday.
But there's full retirement age, which is like 66 or 67. And then there's the window of time during which you can apply for Social Security benefits, which is like 62 to 72, I
Correct.
thought, but
Right.
maybe it's 60 to 72. So like
Or
the
70.
retirement age is 66 or 67, but the window.
changes.
That's
It
what's
So they
changes.
allow.
It
they
used to be
allow early.
65.
Right. So
Yes.
they allow early retirement applications all the way to delayed credits, right? So there's that window from 62 all the way to age 70, and each year will accrue 4%. So if you wait, you will have a higher amount of Social Security, which is why you read all the time, don't claim your Social Security. Wait. But there's pros and cons.
So
Okay,
it's
so let's go to-
early, full, and delayed are the
Correct.
three.
You got
right?
it.
So,
One of the
so
cons-
Early is
Married,
62.
dead.
Early and dead, yeah.
And now look at all the buckets.
By my math, there was like a break even. It may be different to specific amounts, but it was like if you live longer than 85, I think my math
Uh-huh.
was, then
Alan said that
then it
earlier.
matters that you delayed because then you start to actually make more money. So that's kind of
Oh,
like it evens up at a certain date. So like if you
wait.
have longevity in your family, you might want to delay, but if you don't, then maybe you don't.
I'd love to look at the math at that because I think that's so wrong.
What's
I
that?
waited till
But
I,
based on your own experience,
well, I'm not 85 yet, but I never
wasn't
thought
saying that.
I never thought I would collect Social Security. Because a baby boomer, I thought it would be bankrupt way
Yeah.
before I turned that age. But no, and Lily, maybe you'll talk about this. It's 8% every year, right? That you delay. So if I could retire at
4%.
65, it's 8% every year. So that's, that's 32%. It's
Plus the
huge.
fact COLA and everything else, the other couple of years ago, the COLA increased so much for Social Security.
You're right. So every year it's going to be a different
It's
calculation.
huge.
Yep.
It's really huge. But what's interesting is how younger people, because I think retirement age was 65, but the new retirement age is 66. So where I will get 4 years of 8% increase in my Social Security payments, younger people will only get 3%,
Right,
3
right.
of that.
Right,
No.
right.
And that's if they
Hello.
get married instead of cohabitate. They
I'm
have
a
to be married.
divorce attorney. Don't
Oh, you're
even
just
go
talking
there.
about you're just talking about their own benefits. Yeah, right.
Alan, what were you going to
So
say?
I don't know if anyone saw recently, I think in Congress now, there is a proposal to actually look at the bankrupting of Social Security by 2030. And
Yeah, I
unless
see.
something's done, whatever benefits we're getting could end in 2030, 4 years from now. So that could be an argument, could have been an argument for people to collect earlier rather than waiting till 70 to collect the most you could possibly collect. Unless this is dealt with, just based on the numbers, Social Security will be bankrupt in a number of years. So
Remove the cap.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Remove something else too.
I mean,
There's a lot of
Let's keep
I
going.
mean, think about how many lower income people depend upon Social Security for retirement.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
But you see, it's
the
very
country would be in
interesting.
poverty.
It's very
You know-
interesting. I'm with Kathleen. Like we never thought it would be this good, right? We
Right.
just didn't think it would be. And so if people are depending on it, that kind of surprises me. But I guess people are. I don't know.
To Nancy's point, I did this presentation a long time ago on gray divorce, and the numbers are staggeringly scary for older women who are dependent on Social Security. And do you know that the maximum amount per month is in 2026?
Oh, no.
4,000 something,
Yeah.
4,000 plus a month. That's
50
it.
grand a year.
And they're getting less than that, generally speaking.
Right,
And
right.
like, it's like a 61% poverty rate for gray divorced women. It's really terrifying. So anyway, on a happier note, let's go to the next part. Okay, here's the strategy that I think we're kind of all dancing around, right? So
Can I
you can
just say
switch.
one other thing, Lily, just about
sure.
that? The political will to address this issue clearly hasn't really been there, but like the other side of it is that's our money. We're paying it. I think it'd be very hard for them not to solve it. And if you look at the average age of Congress, they're kind of in that bucket. So I don't have a lot of confidence in our political infrastructure actually addressing issues, but I know that there's just who is going to turn around and say, we're not giving you your money back. I don't see who's going to do that.
Oh, well,
I'm
just
not
think
so
about it.
confident
They
anymore.
want
I'm not banking on it. I'm just sharing that maybe slightly optimistic aspect.
I don't know. The whole east wing of the White House is kind of missing and nobody asked. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
right.
The black
Well,
hole.
2030 is in 3 years, so 4 years. So maybe it'll be a different East Wing.
Better be. Okay, I just wanted to add that children's benefits continue after a divorce. They are tied to the worker parent and not to the marriage. And children's benefits are such that, for example, if you have an older parent who is collecting Social Security and they have minor children will be entitled to collecting Social Security benefits on that worker's record. And also, if a divorced parent is caring for a disabled child, they may receive child and care spousal benefits, and it's regardless of the length of the marriage. So a child's benefits are always protected.
Lily, I never focused on if I have a disabled child,
Mhm.
do I get Social Security for that disabled child? My father died when I was young, and I got Social Security till I was 21.
Yes.
And then it
you
was
were a dependent.
reduced, and I never remember any publicity about reducing Social Security benefits
Yeah.
for children at 18. I got till 21, now it's only till 18. But I never heard of disabled children.
So I have
You
a
can-
client of mine who's special needs, and he's now, oh, today's his birthday. I think he's going to be 43. His parents never applied for Social Security benefits for him. So I had applied. It took me over about 2 years to finally get through to Social Security, to finally plead to get Social Security benefits for him, which they finally did, but they don't backdate it.
Yeah, it's
So
not
they only
retroactive.
backdate from the time of the application, I think 2 years back, and that's it.
So it's really critical if you have a disabled child to do it before majority age, because it's a much easier, speedier process. Once they become young adults at through the age of whatever majority is, it's a lot more entangled.
Right. They want to know when the
Difficult to
onset
prove
was and everything
disability,
else.
and you have to have it's a whole gamut of unnecessary
So if we have cases with disabled children, we should be explaining to them that they should
Yes.
apply for social. I have loads of those cases, and I've never known that.
So there's a choice, right? You can have SSI benefits for the child. You can have, Social Security benefits that the child is entitled to. You can also have, if the parent is receiving their own benefit, that there is a dependent Social Security, whether or not the child
That
is
we know.
disabled or not, as
Right.
long as they're a
Right.
minor.
Right.
Yeah. And I think
And
we've had
I think when
a couple
you
of
get
cases
your
like
Social
this.
Security record, it lists what your, rate, the amount you would get with a disabled child that's surviving and everything else.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, good. Let's move up. Okay. So critical rules. This is for all of us, just to keep, in mind and recap, and I'm going to send this to you too. The 10-year rule, just remember, 10-year rule applies to the day of being 10 years married for either divorced spousal or survivor benefits. A marriage that lasts 9 years, 11 months, and 29 days doesn't qualify. Hard to believe, right? So delay whatever you're doing to make sure that 10 years is in place. Remarriage rules for spousal benefits, right? Remarriage eliminates your divorced spousal benefit. If you remarry, remember it's that 1-year window where you are now having lost your divorced spousal benefit, and you have to wait a year to reapply on your new spouse's benefit. Survivor benefits, and this is where most people get tripped up. If your ex-spouse dies, you can receive survivor benefits up to 100% of their benefit if you are unmarried. If you remarry before age 60, you lose all survivor benefits of your ex. And that's pretty important. At age 60 or afterwards, if you remarry, you can keep survivor benefits on your ex. Timing of remarriage can materially affect lifetime income. That's what I learned about this whole exercise. So when we're talking to clients in gray divorce and they want to go happily remarry, and God bless them, just let them know this piece, okay, after age 60. And here's the deemed filing rule that Nancy and I were talking about earlier, which changed, I think it changed in 2017, at the beginning of 2017. Married clients can no longer file early on their own record and then switch to their married spouse's record later on to benefit from delayed credits. Once you make that application, that's it. It's the one-time decision. So just knowing that helps us remind them that it's probably an outdated strategy if they were thinking of that, because people used to ladder income like that. They, file, suspend, claim later, and then work it that way. It doesn't work anymore. Once you file, you file. Ex-spouse privacy. This is interesting. Your ex-spouse will never know when you apply on their benefit record. Theirs remains intact. Social Security ends up paying 150% of the benefit, 50% to the ex-spouse and 100% to the worker.
Regardless how many ex-spouses there are.
And
Right.
that's my next spouse. I love you.
Okay,
That's
good.
my next comment.
You're shill.
This is so cool. All right. So, I mean, in that sense, it can really simplify a lot of settlement discussions if you give that peace of mind to an ex-spouse that, they're not going to be invasive. They're not going to be triggering their ex-spouse by this application, et cetera.
So every ex gets 100%?
So here we go. Multiple
Okay, thank you.
ex-spouses. A worker can have multiple ex-spouses claiming on their record simultaneously. Every ex-spouse can claim, and no one's benefit affects anyone else's,
Jeez.
Wow.
right? So what happens is clients are going to choose the ex with their highest primary insurance, right, amount. They're gonna figure out who's earned the most over their lifetime to file on that person's application record.
Oh,
right.
how complicated.
Isn't this great?
So is the reverse true? So if I get married to a few different people for 10 years and get divorced, I can claim on 3 different spouses.
You have to pick the
The
highest one.
highest.
Pick one.
The highest
Oh,
one.
each only can claim off
now,
of one,
what-
but
Yeah, the
Yeah,
highest.
if you have 3 husbands, all those 3 husbands can claim on your record.
Right.
See? That-
right. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But I
All
can
right.
only claim on one. So each person can only claim on one
One.
person. So if you're divorced and you remarry and you're over 60 and you were married longer than 10 years
62.
and you're going to claim and you've claimed on your ex-husband and you remarry and then that husband dies, you have to choose between the two, or you automatically are going to get the higher of each.
If
Like,
you're
does our
married
government
at the
do that?
time your current spouse dies, you
Yeah.
automatically get survivor benefits on your current spouse's record.
Which would be higher probably than taking 50% of your exes.
But
because
it's
you're going to
either
get
or.
100%.
It's either or. Does
The Social Security does it for you. So
It
you
does.
don't really have a choice. They're going to pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's about time.
Okay. Divorce spousal benefits replace the top up when you're married, remember? So you don't have to worry about the calculation of 50% of his PIA at full retirement age. Social Security does that. And survivor benefits, here's the key part. They replace everything, right? They replace your own benefit. They replace a spousal benefit. They replace a divorced spousal benefit. Survivor benefits are gold. Okay. Where do the delayed credits matter? Survivor benefits. And when you are married, not when you're divorced. And taxing misconceptions. I think we were just talking about this. Social Security benefits may be taxable depending on income, not your age. And there's no age where Social Security benefits become automatically tax-free. Okay?
Does that vary
Teresa.
from state to state?
No, that's federal because it's Social
Okay.
Security.
Also, if you're working and you're, let's say, 62 and receiving benefits, you're going to be taxed more on, like, I think it's $1 for every $3 or something like
Yeah.
that, right?
If you have other income,
If
absolutely.
you have other income, yeah.
So it's not the topic for today, but I'm confused.
Okay.
There's part of my Social Security that's taxable and part that's not taxable.
Correct.
And I don't know how to define that.
No, well, I think
Kinda
what
like
Nancy
half.
just said is correct. So they take your income relative to the Social Security benefit, and there's a formula. And the formula is in place.
This is why I don't understand
No,
it.
but Barbara
Okay.
will tell you. But the point is that no matter when, literally, it's usually taxable.
It's about
And it's gonna be
85%
taxed
taxable.
more
If you've
if
already
you have-
hit if you've already hit full retirement age and you're working, you're not being taxed $1 for every $3.
It's reduced because you're still a little bit older.
You
Is that
don't,
correct?
you're only taxed on 85% of
So
your
isn't
benefit.
it like double taxation? Because I pay taxes on the money I contributed to Social Security, and now I'm getting money from Social Security,
Yeah.
and I'm paying taxes on that same dollar again.
Is
Yeah,
that
figure
infuriating?
that out.
It's almost like when you work for a company and you're past age, now it's like 73, and you're still contributing to your retirement, but then sometimes you have to take money out of your retirement. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Well, no, that's
Ah.
RMD.
Yeah, well, RMD, but you still contribute to your plan and still
No, no,
take out
that's
an
not,
RMD.
Nancy, that's not my question. On my tax returns, if I get 50,000 in Social Security, it has nothing to do with RMD.
No, I'm saying it's the same concept. You're paying into Social Security because you're working, and now you're being taxed on Social Security because you're receiving Social Security.
No, but if I stopped working tomorrow and had no
Different
no
story.
earned income, I still pay taxes on my Social Security.
85%.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
And yeah, anyway.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's not fair. Okay, so just to recap, and then this is it. Divorce does not affect your own benefit. Divorce finalized before 10 years means that your divorced clients lose access to all divorced and all divorced survivor benefits permanently.
Mm.
Spousal benefits stop at divorce, but divorced spousal benefits may replace them. Remarriage before 60 will block survivor benefits. Remarriage after 60 does not block
Oh, wow.
survivor benefits.
Wow.
Survivor benefits will always replace lower benefits. And when multiple spouses or ex-spouses exist, you always receive the highest survivor benefit of any one of those. Okay, so that's it. You are
That's
now
great.
all Social Security experts, guys.
Oh, no, we're not. This should have been three different presentations.
Yeah, so I'm
There's
going to send a
so much.
recap sheet so you guys can have all of this in front of
Wow.
you too. I'll send it,
Wow.
Alan, should I send it to you so you
Sure.
can distribute it? Okay.
Thank
And,
you, Lily. That was amazing.
It was
It
great.
was amazing.
And you
Thank
did a lot of
you.
research for it, so we thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
That
Wow.
was amazing.
As always, Lily, you're terrific. Thank
Oh.
you.
And it is a great topic,
Really
because we came into this knowing some things, now we know a heck of a lot more.
Well, thank
How
you,
nerdy are
Alan,
we that
for
this is a
thinking
great
of the topic.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to
That's
remind
why I
everyone,
stay up late at night, Kathleen.
yeah. So we are taking off for the summer. We take a little summer hiatus in the pod, and we're going to be reconvening on September 15th. And I do think we have a presentation. I have to speak to Carmen about that on for the 15th, that we may have a topic for that, but we'll give you information about that. Right, Carmen? Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So September 15th. So look out for the
Any
email.
teaser? Any teaser on the topic?
I let's just hold it. We'll put you just, it's going to be a good topic. So let me just look for the email blast. And I just want to say that moving forward, we're going to be combining with the Long Island group and the Westchester. I think we are going to keep this time on the Wednesdays from 9 to 10, but that could be also, I just want to take a poll. Does this time work for people, this 9 to 10 time on Wednesday, which is
Yes.
the third Wednesday of the month? Okay,
Yes.
great. So, and please share with myself or Alan any other topics that you want to see or discussions. This is an opportunity just to have a discussion like we did. And Lily, thank you so much. You
Oh,
really,
thank you.
know, having that really informal conversation and really an opportunity to learn together and learn from each other. So thank you, everyone.
Thank
coming.
you.
Melissa, before, did you say September 15th or 16th?
If I might have been incorrect, if it's the 16th, it should be the 16th. I was thinking September 15th on something else because I got a notice about something.
Okay.
September 16th. Yes, it's a Wednesday.
Great.
Yes. Okay. And listen, everyone, enjoy your summer. Have a healthy and happy one. And see you. I feel like it's the new school year. See you.
I
in
know.
September.
Arrivederci, Melissa.
That's right.
Exactly.
I'll be
When
back
are you leaving?
next
Thank